following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Just in the nick of time, Mickey Spagnola puts his headsets on for another edition of Mick Shots inside the SWBC podcast studio on a Tuesday here at the Star in Frisco. It's a Players Off Tuesday, but it's not a day off for any of us here inside this studio.
Especially Chris, man.
Chris Beam, that's right.
He's trying to explain everything to us.
He is.
We're so dense.
We are.
You know what? After that game on Sunday,
people had already figured that out.
Right,
though.
I think they know we already know. That's what they like about it. That's our charm.
after that game on Sunday, why do they have a day off? They ought to be here working.
You got to tune into this show. They got no idea what they're talking about. All right, so here we are, and we had an eventful afternoon yesterday, which was the usual Monday after a Cowboys game where Mike McCarthy talks to the media and the coordinators talk to the media. And what is different from the past Mondays after a Cowboys Sunday is this one, they had more questions to answer. Right, Mickey?
They did.
First time in a long time he had to address a loss.
That's right.
And the coordinators more so than Mike. I'm sure Mike's used to it, right? Well, I guess Dan Quinn's used to it also, dressing after a loss. And they had to.
Hey, Kellen, where's your smart boy now?
They had to.
Does TCU pull that offer?
Well, you know what? Where did I write that down? I wrote it down yesterday.
Never mind.
I wrote it down yesterday afternoon. I'm going, okay, so we're not going to hear anything today about Dak being the comeback player of the year and the offensive player of the year.
He tanked.
Probably not going to hear anything more about Trayvon Diggs being the NFC defensive player of the year.
He's getting toasted all the time. He's that
Micah Parsons being the rookie of the year. And probably not going to hear anything more about Kellen Moore becoming the head coach at Texas Tech.
Don't you think that
or TCU.
We certainly aren't going to hear
But don't you feel that Buffalo gets a slight pass in comparison? You know, Tampa always gets a pass.
I bet they're not getting a pass in Buffalo.
You don't think they're getting a pass?
No, I bet not.
No, they're saying the same stuff on BuffaloBills.com.
Do you think the Saints are getting a pass? I bet not.
No, I mean it's just that when it comes to us, it's like, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Well,
yeah, you're right along those lines.
Yeah, they can't wait to vilify us. You know,
that's true. That's true.
And I hear it all the time. Tampa's gonna be okay. Green Bay's going to be okay. But with Dallas, what do you think is going to be the doom and gloom today? How's it going to go for the rest of the year?
Will the Packers be okay?
They keep Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be okay. That's all you hear.
Will he be okay?
He can be eligible on Saturday. They'll be able to play
He'll
on
be
Sunday.
okay. Exactly.
No practice for 2 weeks, and he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They had to clean up Dan Quinn's press conference a little bit. There was a few S-bombs.
He has
dropped.
a tendency to drop some. I wonder if he did that in Atlanta at his press conferences.
What did he do? Talk to me. What's going on?
Just dropped a few. No, not angry.
He's just genuine.
Just kind of in the
he's
normal
talking,
vernacular.
It's like a Hard Knocks episode, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got to clean this S up.
He does know it's being streamed.
Yes, I think he does.
Okay.
And that people are transcribing. But yeah, I thought, time to answer some questions, and they did. And so here we are on Tuesday.
Putting things into perspective.
Yeah, hopefully. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought Jerry put it in perspective. It's like,
how is his language on the
he was fine. Yeah, he was fine, and he was very matter of fact, and very, I don't know, he was very pragmatic.
Even keeled.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It's like, okay, we got things to clean up, but, everything's not falling apart, and this is the NFL. As
What
Steven said,
can go wrong will go wrong.
yeah, and as Steven said Sunday, or Monday, they pay the other guys, and so this stuff is going to happen, and we saw it happen. And he knew it happened around the league. With, I think 7
I think
teams.
that kind of gives everybody a little bit of a reprieve. You know?
Look who else got beat.
Right.
And look who they got beat by. And they were favored to win.
And it wasn't just before this weekend. You had some odd upsets even before that. So to me, I love it. I love it. It just kind of evens the playing field for everyone. The injuries, the masking, all of that. To me, the team that comes out of this, it's going to be the better team, not just players, but the organization itself, how they handle, these problems that we're having. And let's just be real. All of the things that hit us, it was Murphy's Law, really, in that game. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And but it did shine a light on some things that we better show up if we want to talk about going all the way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what I like about it.
Not good enough just to roll in and say, all right, we're the Dallas Cowboys.
These are the same things that we already had problems with and had a little concern about. Of course, passing defense, giving up big plays, run defense, giving up too many at a time. This is the first time it really hit us all at once. But all of those things that happened in the game, all of us here have made mention of it. And it hasn't gone away yet, which is something that was shown.
And the backup swing tackle, playing left tackle, not right
all
tackle.
All of that we talked about.
So that was going to be my first question today. What, as we go forward, now reaching the halfway point of the season, at halftime of
I was going to say at halftime
of the Atlanta game, it will be the halfway point of the season. So we may change our mind by halftime of the Atlanta game. What the answer to this question? But what is the most concerning thing about this team going into the second half of the season? If you could pick one thing that is the most concerning for them to get to where they want to go.
Any aspect?
Let's assume we're going to assume that Dak is healthy the rest of the way.
All right.
Okay. Assuming Dak is healthy the rest of the way, from the evidence that is in front of you right now, with this team and where everybody sits, whether they're on injured reserve or on the active roster or, not playing lately or the status of a run defense or whatever it might be, what's the most concerning thing
So
going
it could
forward?
be an individual.
Making sure
position. It could be anything.
And if you have to touch hands or whatever, making sure Tyron Smith plays at least 13 games this season.
I will second that motion.
He's not going to play them all.
Right.
And everybody complained about the last, 3 or 4 years, he always misses 3 games. Okay, I can deal with missing 3 games. I can't deal with him missing 14 like last year.
Or you don't want him missing the last 3 games.
Yes.
We would like for him to sprinkle them in throughout the rest of the season.
But they need him to get back on the field because this offense can cure what ails them defensively.
Well, here's the thing, and I really didn't pay attention much because I was at the game. It's just so hard to study the game while you're there. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at, did we give him too much autonomy as a player? Did we trust the tackles too much? Because there were times when we had Tyron on the left side, and we took care. We protected the right tackle. I don't think we protected anyone this game. I think we was like, okay, go show me what you can do.
Business as usual.
Let's show me what you can do because they just lost Vaughn, and you talked about the defensive end.
And they had their other guy up missing too.
And then Malik Reed was also out too.
So when you look at that, do you think that he's okay, going out there, no short leash this time. Let me see what you can do. Talking Steele mostly. I'm really not talking Collins, but talking Steele mostly. Right. Do you think that he didn't give him enough protection and that we should, in the future, consider that? Putting the tight ends there on his side, giving him a little chip access or chip help. Those kind of things didn't seem to be there this last game.
Or the fact that this was the first time he had extended time at left tackle in his life. Maybe in high school, I don't know. But at Texas Tech as a 4-year starter, he played right tackle. And in preseason, he got some reps at left tackle, but not a lot. And so, how big of a difference is it for him individually? Yeah. How much of a difference is it for him individually to play left tackle as opposed to right tackle? He admitted after the game that it was more than he expected.
Eye-opening. It was
eye-opening. Yeah.
They started off with I thought the first couple possessions a lot of two tight end.
Yeah.
And then they got behind and they kind of got away from it. And they got away from the running game also.
And you know what I mean? Because you guys have brought that to my attention. That's why I'm talking about it. Because Tampa game, Collins got that help. Am I correct? In the Tampa game, they gave Collins some help. They didn't leave him alone too often.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And seeing...
And that's the thing with Collins is Collins right now the same player he was in 2019.
Or on September 9th.
Night, right. Open Thursday night.
Well, I had that discussion with Nate because Nate thought his technique wasn't real good, Collins, and he expected more from a technique standpoint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I said, Nate, we had a really good discussion. I said, he missed time in training camp. He didn't play. I don't even know if he played in a preseason game. I think maybe one quarter at the most, a half. He starts the opener, and then he gets suspended, and you can do all the conditioning work you want, but you're not playing football, right?
That's right.
You're not doing conditioning work against a 290-pound defensive end. And
you can't simulate that.
And he gets one practice the week before in pads, but he's playing fullback or whatever they were doing with their inverted wishbone. And he was the backup tackle. So how many snaps in practice does the backup tackles get? Probably a handful, just like the backup quarterback. Then the next week, it's like, okay, it's you, but you only get one practice in pads, and then go play. And everybody was like, well, what happened with La'el Collins? I said the same thing that would have happened the week before when you all wanted to see him out there playing right away after one practice. It's 7 weeks and hadn't played a game.
I mean, it affected Dak as well.
And I think it did a little him.
Yeah, just for being out a week.
And then it's a trickle-down effect. When you're not protecting the pocket, now the quarterback's got to throw on the run. And here's what I got in my mind, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. But when we look at, well, what happened to the offense? Okay, mix in 5 drop passes. I think I'm being realistic with 5. Mix in the inability to pick up a 4th and 1, a 4th and 2, a 4th and 1, a 3rd and 1. Well, that'll stall an offense real quick, right? And the fact that I can see receivers running wide ass open down the field, and he misses them.
He misses them badly.
What I wrote on Friday was the key to this offense was they were making plays. Everybody's making a play. They didn't make a big play. There was no dump-off pass to Zeke for 15 yards to get a first down right at the 5-yard line like the week before. They were missing those plays. I can still see CeeDee Lamb running open.
Wide open.
Right? And so
Dak does not miss that,
man. And he missed it.
He does not and even by that much.
And he missed Noah Brown one time,
man.
Right? And so there were plays to be made. They didn't make them. So I understand that, to the victor goes the spoils, and it gives Vic Fangio the right to talk about, no one else knew how to play him, but I did. I stopped him.
No, we stopped ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like Dak said, his retort was, well, I hope everybody else plays us the same way.
There you go.
Because
I like that.
we're going to make those plays, right? They didn't make them.
And see, that's the thing about the defense of Denver. I didn't see a number 2 scoring defense, even though our score was horrible. Even though our output.
Yeah, they basically shut them out.
Well, and so the thing is, we shut ourselves out.
Yes.
I mean, is that how Denver plays? They just let the other team keep making mistakes and they keep overthrowing? That can't be the formula for a good defense, is hope they mess up offensively.
It's like he came up with, I remember back in, when was it, 86, when the Final Four was here, when LSU, Dale Brown, he had the freak defense, right? He came up with that name. Well, all he was doing was playing a matchup zone, but he came up with a name, and now everybody's going, oh, he's got this defense that we don't know what to do with.
What you had was guys that knew how to match up in a zone.
Yeah.
You had the players themselves understood the zone matchup
So in
philosophy.
this one, mostly, okay, they got all these fancy names. A lot of times they were playing man coverage. They had safety over the top, at least one, sometimes two, sometimes way deep two. And so it's easier for somebody said, well, the receivers weren't really open. It's like, well, it's easy to cover a guy when you're not threatening him deep and you're not running the ball the way you should
That's
be,
the thing.
right?
When you have two deep, that should be an invitation to run that ball. That means pound them up the middle, wherever you can pound them, because they've got two safeties. You want them to bring one of those safeties down. Force them to bring that safety down. Now you got one high. Maybe you might have to do a blitz, and now the wide receivers on the outside can work.
And the cornerback's not as good.
That's right. Now he's got to cover inside and outside. Now he doesn't just have to jam. He doesn't just get the opportunity to play that two press.
And then they can say, okay, well, we're going to play off, make sure no one's going past me, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now drop 5 passes underneath.
Because we love it when you play off.
Right.
We do that all the time.
Right.
Yeah, we're not the ones that really want to go deep. We're the ones that want to catch you underneath.
I mean, you start off the game with a Pollard drop, then there's a Schultz drop, then there's a Cooper drop. CD had one. And it was uncommon. So, okay, we're going to find out. You can write it off as
I love that answer
was that.
by Dak. I did not hear that answer. I love that answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And McCarthy said, well, when you win, you can beat the drum. But he goes, he kind of said, it wasn't his words, but he politely disagreed, right?
It's interesting.
Basically, the streets, like, you're talking that trash now.
Yeah.
I want to see you again.
What's interesting, the backstory on McCarthy and Fangio is over the last decade, just their head-to-head matchups.
Right.
Because, of course, Fangio was in Chicago as a defensive coordinator before he got the Broncos job, so he was facing McCarthy a lot in McCarthy's last 4 years there.
And it's Bears-Packers, too, by the way.
But then go before that, and especially in the playoffs, and then also some in the regular season, Packers 49ers.
Right.
Fangio was with Harbaugh in San Francisco, and when both those teams were really good, and they matched up a lot in big games. And it was interesting because last week I went back and looked at just the history between the two coaches, and it was like Fangio had the upper hand in San Francisco, and then when McCarthy had the better team in Green Bay, McCarthy had the upper hand on Fangio. It was like an even split, 500.
Really?
But I think the dynamics of them just butting heads against each other over the last decade, and now here's Fangio throwing a little dig in there after Denver wins that game, and then that explains McCarthy's reaction.
And then let's throw in. And
they're also, here's another thing, they're also Pennsylvania guys.
Yeah, and also, how about this? An Irish Catholic against an Italian Catholic. Right? The Irish and the Italians didn't always get along real well.
McCarthy's from
all of them in the same boat, though. I don't know why they fight. They're in the same boat.
And they're not just from Pennsylvania. McCarthy's from Western PA, and Fangio is from Eastern PA. So anyway, it's neat seeing the.
That is pretty cool.
Not that it.
Dynamic.
Now, then again, having said all that, they may have a great relationship. I have no idea.
But the rivalry is
it's
based
interesting
on that. I do believe that.
Yeah,
oil and vinegar.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, we continue with more Mick shots in just a moment.
Go take a piss.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done,
get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Celebrate Christmas at the Star with Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza powered by Reliant. The 20-minute show electrifies the Star in Frisco with a powerful mix of game day excitement and Christmas cheer every Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m., November 19th through December 18th. Admission and parking are free. For more information, I can't say it. I can't say information. For more information, visit thestardistrict.com.
Oh, and I love the music.
Yes.
Is it really 'tis the season yet?
Oh, I guess so. Have you been in a store lately?
I have. You know, I was in a Home Depot October 23rd, and I wasn't surprised. They had their Christmas stuff out. I actually needed some of those little clips to put my patio lights back up that all fell down.
You know it's Christmas when Legacy West is lit up in the most beautiful decorations.
Well, the lights are starting to come up outside, and just to keep everything honest, same thing in Lowe's too. By the way,
yeah, that's true. Sorry,
I saw that. I went in there, and it was like I was looking for. I was like, wait a minute, I don't need a Christmas tree. It's not even Halloween yet.
And in fact, there were neighborhoods in my town that had their Christmas lights up October 24th, a week before Halloween.
Hey, my neighborhood, they don't even take them down. It's like, what are you doing?
You know what?
But they
I'm all
turn
for
them
that.
on?
They don't feel like going through all that crap, right?
Do they turn them on? When do they turn them on, though?
They actually sometimes every holiday they will turn them on. So Halloween they'll turn them on.
You know,
I'm jogging by. It's like May 23rd. What are we doing?
We have a like a wrought iron fence around our landscaping where our pool is, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
one
got
year,
a pool.
And one year, you knew that. Yours froze just like that.
Yes, we all had a pool frozen story. Yes.
And one year, I took the colored lights and I weaved them in and out and all the way around, right? And
I'd love video of this.
I said to myself, you know what? All the trouble I put those up, I'm not taking them down. And I left them there till they burned out.
For real?
Yeah, and put them on timer, and they came on every night.
Well, that's what we on our patio
Wait,
lights.
every night they came?
Oh, all through the year round.
You don't have patio lights?
What?
You don't have patio lights?
Yeah, but they're not Christmas lights, though.
Well, they were just colored lights, right? Instead of the white ones that everybody's using.
Yeah, the clear ones.
But these were
green and red. Yeah, green
and
red.
yellow and whatever.
So you change them to clear for the rest of the year.
No, I just left
You
them.
leave them in Christmas
That's what I'm
colors?
saying,
Yes.
bro. He got them on every day.
Christmas color.
See, I had cheap plastic light clips, whatever, and I had them. And so this summer, one of them was kind of falling apart. Okay, they've been up for like 3 years. Just patio lights, whatever. And so I went up to fix it. And the whole thing came down. The whole string came down. See, my problem is, okay, this is when you don't have control of your scene. My problem is my wife will not allow me to put a screw or a hook into the patio where I can just hang them on a hook like everyone else does.
Why not?
Because there'll be too many holes.
Hold on, she's listening.
She doesn't have confidence.
Be careful.
She doesn't have confidence that I will do it right, and there'll be all these holes in the wood. So, which she's got a point there.
Yeah, she knows you, Bill.
Yeah, she's got a point
very
there.
well.
So then we went without any patio lights for a couple of months until the Christmas lights came out, and I had to wait for the Christmas clip light, to come out so I could hang them.
Well, I know not to use those.
Yeah, no, they worked well until about 3 years into it.
Do you put the lights on your house?
We don't put out. No.
No, he'll kill himself.
Yeah, I used to when we lived in a one-story house.
Yeah.
when I can get on a ladder and reach up there, but I ain't getting on no roof.
My days are over on a ladder and climbing on the roof like I used to. It's like if I'm going to kill myself, it ain't going to be falling off a roof.
That's right.
So I hire somebody to put those lights.
No, I put them on the sidewalk.
Down the walkway. He puts him down the walkway.
Can't fall off the sidewalk.
But he'll trip over him coming home.
Or run over him. You can't get him too close to the driveway. They'll run right over him. Okay.
Football.
All right.
Football,
back
that's
to
right.
football.
I got a Mick shot for you.
Oh, wait, we got a Mick shot.
Uh-oh.
We've got a Mick shot.
You know how...
This is a rant. This is not a mix.
You know how we were making a big deal over the first 6 games about takeaways, and the Cowboys had 14, and boy, they were a +7 and a +10, and well, the last 2 games, the Cowboys are a -4.
Interesting.
No takeaways, -4. Over the first 6 games, those takeaways that they got, 14 of them, turned into 51 points.
Interesting.
8.5 points a takeaway. In the last 2 games, no takeaways, no points off of takeaways, and now they're only a +3.
You know what? I always used to look at our 81 season in an even more favorable light because I recall we had an offense that turned our picks into points. We didn't just get them to save ourselves on the go. No, wherever we got them, you got Dorsett, you got Danny, you got Springs, you got Hill, you got Dupree. They were turning them into points. That happened a lot, and that's why I was kind of always concerned with Tom Landry's. How he just kind of blew off interceptions. He just looked at it. It was almost like it annoyed him that we got him.
Or you were supposed to get him.
Right. Oh, we're supposed to get him. Exactly. Yeah. They never had anybody get him before, but we have to get him this year. So, I was always proud of that our offense was able to take what we gave them and they capitalized.
And I know there's extenuating circumstances, but with no takeaways, the last 2 games, they scored 20 points. And I know there was a backup quarterback and 16 barely. So I don't know if there's any correlation there, but that kind of dawned on me today.
Well, see, when you look at that, when you count the Cooper game, I wouldn't. You can put it in a category, a numbers category, but it meant much more than that. You see. Yeah, we lost the takeaway. We lost the takeaway contest, but we won the game. So even though it's a pattern that you look at as you win, it's that kind of you put an asterisk on that particular game and those stats because we overcame everything that we put on ourselves.
Because the defense played well.
That's right.
Right?
So that's why I say it's
just
not just
because
numbers.
the offense was getting shut out didn't mean the defense had to give up 30 points, right?
That's right.
So that kind of goes back to that 8-8 season when they didn't win games unless they scored 30 points.
And Minneapolis goes and scores 30-plus points.
Yeah, how about that?
Minnesota, yeah. Away from home.
And beat.
No, they lost.
Baltimore.
They lost.
Oh, that's right. But it went into overtime. Baltimore had to go into overtime.
Kirk Cousins was the guy that we thought we were going to see in Minneapolis.
Yeah. So.
Okay, we were talking time of possession yesterday.
Yes, we were.
And I gave you a homework assignment.
You sure did, Bill. I was thinking about that on the way in.
And
did you happen to complete? Well, way to go.
I thought he was
As a matter of fact, and to complete it, I had to go back through the media guides and look at the final results for that season to see where time of possession
You got all the media guides?
You know what?
Is this not found online somewhere? Do you have to get
I tried Googling it, and it wouldn't come up. So I had to go
to the library.
I've got a box of all the media guides.
That's your library.
Now I've got a few.
That's your pseudo library.
I've got a few that I'm missing. Like there's 1 year here, 1 year there. But I think the first year I got it is 1982, maybe.
Okay.
There's some older than that, but they're like 74 or 72. But so anyway, I went back and found that the last time the Cowboys had a less time of possession than they did in this game on Sunday, which was 1850. Where's my thing at? I got it.
I bet you I beat you to it.
1848.
You lost, Bill. Go ahead, man.
1848. The last time they had less, October 30th, 2011, against the Philadelphia Eagles in a 34-7 loss. They had 1751 time of possession.
That score of that game?
34-7.
Okay.
And got beat. And I was going through the lowest time of possession since 1983. Cleveland had 12 minutes and 11 seconds
Good grief.
versus the Steelers in 1999 in a 43-0 loss.
So,
but
I know it's tough, but I would have to ask who had the least time of possession and won.
Oh, I didn't have the ability.
I was just
to
saying
find
that's
that
something
in
to
the
think
NFL.
about. Yeah.
And the game that Bill brought up, he looked it up real quick yesterday.
I mean, if you do a quick Google
were we on
search,
the air, or was that
maybe after we got off. You do a very quick Google search, you will discover most time of possession in an NFL game was the Houston Oilers against the Dallas Cowboys in 1991, 48 minutes and some odd seconds.
34. 48-34.
Okay, 48 minutes and 34 seconds. And Mickey very quickly pointed out that was an overtime game.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
And in that game, so it was like, well, how many, what was the Cowboys after four quarters?
Spags has bets on games. That's why he knows all this stuff. Go ahead, Spags.
So after four quarters, the time of possession was Houston 39-07 and the Cowboys 20-53. And then when it got into overtime, Houston had 2 possessions. The Cowboys only had 1. Right. So the Cowboys' time of possession in overtime was 5:04 to Houston's 9:27. And they won the game in overtime after Emmitt Smith fumbled.
Yes, I remember that.
In Houston, or in their own territory, and they had a short field.
Unusual.
26-23 final score, I think is what it was.
And then they lost the next week. We talked about that to the Giants. Got clobbered like 23-10, maybe 9.
That was the horribly officiated game.
Yes, that was.
That led Jimmy
Johnson.
Since
my daddy said this was a football.
Yeah, and one of the great
Nagy saying last night.
One of the great Jimmy Johnson post-game tirades of all time. That was the worst officiated game since my daddy said this is what you call a football.
Did you watch last night?
I did, and it seemed like the Bears weren't happy.
Oh, you know what? If if I was Nagy, they would have had to carry me off the field before
I wouldn't even go to the press conference.
I would have been on the field arguing.
Just take my
Matt
check.
Nagy. Okay, I thought you said if you were an Aggie.
No,
if you were
Matt
Nagy. Okay.
They would have had to carry me off the field,
See, we talked
kick
last
me
night,
out,
so,
and
yeah.
fine me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They called a crackback block on a guy that missed the block.
They sure did.
Right?
Well, they said he went low. He
went low, but he got grass. He
did.
didn't get the guy.
No, he didn't.
And he was within the tackle box, right?
That's true.
And the taunting.
I saw the taunting.
If that's taunting,
yeah.
Dude, did the referee give him a hip check?
Yes, he did. I saw it replayed again, and he
wasn't reaching for the flag. He just happened to stick his butt out.
No, yes,
it looked like he
yeah.
hit the hip check first, then he went for the flag.
Because he had the flag in his hand like he was going to throw it, right?
Yeah.
And he said in his pool report afterwards that the guy went running towards the Pittsburgh sideline. He didn't.
He did
He
not.
was right where he was.
Right there.
He kind of took a couple steps,
did.
and he just
And
stared.
stared.
He didn't say anything.
Matter
and
of
you
fact,
know
the
what?
kicker was right there. He didn't even really look at the kicker.
And you know what? He deserved that because they released him, and
That's
the
right.
Bears picked him up and put
That's
him on the
right.
practice
Former
squad.
Steeler. That's
So
right.
he's thinking, okay, you see
Gotcha.
me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I'm still here.
How do you throw that? And not only did he throw the flag, he threw it and he had his arm up in the air like he was the Statue of Liberty.
Man. He put a lot.
Right?
He put a lot into that. He put the hip check, and then he got the pose. That was a pose.
It reminds me
Yeah.
of the game I told you I got thrown out of, softball, girls softball. And when the guy threw me out, he wound up like a major league umpire. Yeah, out of here.
That happened to me in my son's little league game one time too. They were cheating us so bad, so we kept running touchdowns on them, right? So the guy runs by me. I said, "Hey, ref, you can't stop us. You're out of here." He kicked me out of the game. I can't come to the park. Like, come on, man.
So, but all the lined up in the neutral zone, and there was an interference call where the guy didn't do anything. If nothing happened, the offensive guy pushed him off.
And not to mention the late hits on the quarterback.
Oh.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, he's. I didn't think he was going to get up the one time,
man.
and it was a late hit.
Yeah, big time.
And how about the one from behind?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. The one from
Jeez.
behind.
And no flag.
Yeah, no flag.
But they barely hit Roethlisberger that time.
Yeah.
Nope, let's throw
And
the
they go
flag
out and
up
make
there.
that field goal, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Help you win this game.
We got to go to a break, but
Do we have to?
But I think we do. We didn't.
At one
we didn't
point,
do the second one, right?
We haven't. At one point, they put up the graphic. The penalties were 11-2.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, no game should be like that.
And that taunting penalty gave them a field goal. They were off the field.
Even in overtime, they did the same thing. On the last drive, he got a favor.
So you got kicked out of a baseball game?
It was a football game.
Football game.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Hamilton Park Bobcats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever got kicked out?
It was girls fast pitch softball.
I was at. This is like 2009 or whatever. Whenever T.O. was still with the Cowboys,
Yeah.
2008, whatever it was. I was at a charity basketball game doing a live shot for CBS 11, and one of the officials was working the game. Came over and she said, "I remember you. You're that guy from Southlake coaching youth basketball, girls 8 and under basketball." And she hated me. For the same reason that y'all are talking about. I never got kicked out of a game, but here it was.
I thought she was going to kick you out because she recognized you. Like, whoa, dude, you can't.
So my reputation
it travels.
Yeah.
Yes.
It traveled for years. It was like a decade later. It was like 10 years after
I remember you.
I remember you. You're that guy from Southlake.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
All right, more, and I've got another trip down historical memory lane this Cowboys game. When was the last time the Cowboys were being shut out as much as 30-0 in a game? I've got the answer for you next on Mick Shots.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Back to Mick Shots.
So Everson missed this last time because we're in the holiday spirit already. This holiday season, visit the Star to get your photo with Santa, presented by Monument Realty. Santa Claus will be at his Cowboys-themed cottage in the Star District, across from Ascension on the Star Boulevard, from November 26th through December 24th, just in time for him to get to work. For more information and to book your photo, visit thestardistrict.com/Santa.
So does Santa not do any work until Christmas Eve?
No, he just delivers.
That's why he's so fat.
He's better than UPS, right?
Wow. But that's not considered work whenever he's like having kids come
sit on their laps.
Yeah, that's not work.
I don't know about that.
He enjoys it so much that. All right, here is I may have misspoke on my question before the break. No, the question I intended to ask was, when was the last time the Cowboys were shut out as much as 30-0 in a game, like they were with about 6.5 minutes left in the game the other day against Denver? Of course, the Cowboys came back and scored a couple of times. In this particular game I'm thinking of, they also came back and scored and weren't shut out in the game. But they were trailing. They were being shut out by more than 30-0 in this game that I'm thinking of, which is the last time that they were being shut out by that much.
Philadelphia? At Philadelphia?
The Tony Romo game, if this is the worst thing that ever happened?
No.
Okay, it's 34-6.
This was
and
back
that is
in
not the right answer.
The early 90s. Right?
It's more recent than the early 90s.
Oh, okay.
Now, they had a Philadelphia game when Aikman got sacked 11 times at Texas Stadium.
But they only got beat 24
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. It was the Bill Parcells era. Do you remember that December game against Washington in 2005 where the Cowboys couldn't tackle a soul? It was December 2005. Drew Bledsoe was sacked 7 times in that game, and the Cowboys were trailing Washington 35-0 at the end of the third quarter. Wound up scoring a touchdown in the fourth to make the final score 35-7.
Drew Bledsoe.
So 16 years ago was the last time that the Cowboys were shut out or being shut out as much as 30-0 in a game.
So I looked up the last time they were shut out in the first half, and it was 2018 when they lost 23-0 to the Colts. And speaking of the Colts, because some guy previous to that played a really good game against Peyton Manning in the Colts back in the day, Sean Lee was in the building today.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Guess what he's doing?
What?
What would you think after 7 months is Sean Lee doing?
He's an analyst. He's a
consultant.
Yeah,
He's helping Will McClay in the pro scouting department.
I am not surprised at all.
He couldn't stay away.
Yeah.
He said there was only so many times I could be on the beach and so many beers I could drink, right? and he's doing it from home.
And daylight savings time is over now, so you don't have as much time in the day to spend at the beach.
So he was here. He said he came in to for the game.
Wait a minute. Bill brought in daylight savings time. That was kind of odd.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
because you get more
cut down on daylight.
Yeah, but he's not like he's out there at 8 p.m. I mean, come on.
But it gets dark at like 5 now.
Yeah, but he's going to be out there by noon. He's going to be good. Man, come on, man. Nobody waits till 5 p.m. to go to the beach. They're going to go early.
That's when you come in, right?
Yes.
There's not as many hours.
He said.
But anyway, he is.
If you're drinking that much beer, you're not getting out there.
There you go.
Till 3, right?
No, that's the X factor right there, the beer. Yeah, go ahead.
He is doing some advanced scouting for him and also looking at pro players for Will. And he's liking it. He loves it, he said. And he can do it from home. He got his little iPad, look at all the different stuff. But he was in this weekend, had gone to the game, and evidently they had a couple suites for former players. So it was like old home week again with a bunch of the guys that were here for the game. And
so what do you think he's going to be doing 3 years from now?
Yeah, he didn't say, but he kind of liked this scouting thing.
I was going to say,
director
of scouts.
Which you can, from a scouting standpoint, from afar, what he's doing, you can do that 9 to 5.
And it's satisfying as heck.
Yeah, and
you see your player develop that you chose. That you consulted, come on.
We asked him, so what do you think of the rookie? Penn State. And he goes, I don't think I've ever seen a guy that big and that fast.
Mm-hmm. Man.
He goes, in my life.
How fast was Sean Lee?
I can look it up real quick. Oh, we're out of time.
Oh, I would imagine he was like a 2.5, 2.6 maybe.
What?
You think Sean Lee was that fast? 4.5. I said 2.5. Sorry.
Like, do linebackers only do 20s?
Well, that's what you said they should do.
That's true.
Don't get on me on daylight savings time when he's saying guys are running 2.5s.
He's already on his way to saying we should have do away with the.
I think he ran like a 4.6 at the combine.
No, I said 4.5, 4.6.
Let's see.
That's pretty good for a linebacker, and for someone that's a quick thinker. Put that together. You put physical together with mental, then you've got something special.
He was hurt.
Yeah, he probably didn't even run.
Of course, he was hurt. 4.6 at his pro day. He ran a 4. Of course, I had that memorized. 4.6 and get this, 10-yard split, a 1.54. And a 3-cone, of 6.89. That's pretty good.
I could take it.
And he had a vertical of 37.5. So there you go.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So what website do you use for all this? Because I know you don't have it memorized.
It's a secret.
Is he just making this up?
Yeah, he's got a draft.
Combine results.
Combine results.
Okay, CombineResults.com.
Very
all
good.
right, I think we are out of time on this edition of
It's about
Mick
time.
Shites.
Otherwise, we're gonna get kicked out of our own podcast.
That's right.
studio.
In fact, I see
You're out of here.
I see. Since daylight savings time is over, the sun is going down on us here. This edition of Mick Shites.
Yeah,
and
that affects our pay.
Some of us will see you tomorrow, but not all of us.
Yeah, meaning you.
And
go Cowboys.
All right, we're back to Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?